It is clear to me at this point that Donald Trump wants you to know how little he cares about you. This is a guy who ran a campaign in which he pretended to care about affordability, not only to begin his administration and skyrocket at your cost, but to scoff at a question about affordability days after losing an election in which the winning candidates ran on affordability. Donald Trump doesn't care if people are starving. In fact, he wants it. He has kept this government shut down because the pain is the point, the cruelty is the point, and covering up for his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is the point. It is the reason Donald Trump was just rushed away after one of the worst posts that he's ever made has completely backfired on him in the middle of a shutdown that he can't win. And he also certainly can't win the narrative around. We are going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way, and supporting our work. Now, before we get into the post that Trump made and the instant backlash that he is now facing, I want to start with someone who broke down everything that we need to know about the shutdown, all the latest updates, and why Donald Trump is really hiding away right now, and that's Jasmine Crockett right here.
She barely is in an office, so she can't be opening cases so that once the government opens, that her staff can kind of deal with those things. It is really sad. And here's the other kicker to this, right? Let's say, our speaker decided to grow a spine and actually go ahead and swear in Rep-elect Grijalva. Well, ultimately, that means that we have the 218 signatures that we need for the discharge petition. But since we still aren't in session, it's not like a bill can come to the floor. We have no bills that are hitting the floor anyway. So ultimately, those two things are going to happen at the same time, no matter what. So right now, why don't you at least try to look like you're serious about your job and look like you were doing the work of the people and not look like a petulant child and swear her in? Because at the end of the day, because you've decided to avoid having us in session, we can't take a vote on a bill anyway.
Yeah, and the other thing is just bring back Congress into session. I can't figure out, it's very hard to tell because he does these press conferences every day, which sort of hits his talking points, says that he hasn't seen anything in the news, blames the Democrats. What the position is, he doesn't want to bring you back from recess because then he has to swear in Grijalva, or he doesn't want to swear in Grijalva because he doesn't want to bring you back to, I don't know. But the point being, it's what, 9 weeks now? It's 1/10 of the term she was elected to will have been spent on ice.
Yeah.
Because Mike Johnson doesn't think anyone in the House of Representatives should work.
Yeah, it is absolutely astounding. And I want people to pay attention. When you go and you hit those booths come the midterms, think about which party decided that it was okay to literally be on vacation while it is that people were going hungry in the streets of America. This isn't about partisanship. Again, to me, it's really clear to me. We have over 40 million people in this country that are not going to be with their SNAP benefits because you have people that have decided that they believe that they are basically pawns in a game of chess. That is not what anyone should want from their elected officials, whether you are a SNAP recipient or otherwise. And the idea that we're still getting paid while we're telling air traffic controllers who are responsible for keeping planes and people safe that they're not getting checks, or while we're looking at TSA, which they tend to be some of our lowest paid federal employees, and tell them, oh, well, just keep showing up to work because if you go get another job, you're going to lose this job while we literally are not working. Make it make sense. And ultimately, I need everybody to just vote in their own best interest.
It is the Epstein shutdown. Let's be real. Donald Trump doesn't want us talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump doesn't want Adelita Graf Walvoa sworn in. Donald Trump doesn't want us to do anything but make sure that the government works to give billionaires tax cuts, fund his golf trips, and allow him to grift off his crypto scheme. Donald Trump wants to fundamentally change the way that you view government. That is so much a part of the shutdown, as much as anything else does. Donald Trump wants you to think that the government, 1, just doesn't work, and 2, does not work for you. That it is about the corporate socialism, giving bailouts to AI, Sam Altman is already asking for the government to get involved in propping up a company that is doing irreparable damage to the environment of our country. These data centers sucking up water. Yeah, we give money to billionaires. That's what we do. And that's what Donald Trump wants you to think. The government is all about billionaires and golf trips, which is why this post backfired. Trump lashes out at Democrats from golf course-bound motorcade amid shutdown chaos. Donald Trump lashed out at Democrats in a social media post sent as his motorcade carried him to his golf course. And as the government shutdown caused chaos across the country, Trump has spent several days trying to deny that there is any problem with affordability after he and his party took a shellacking on election day. And his administration fights in order to pay SNAP benefits to 42 million Americans during the shutdown. Air travel. Air travelers have begun to experience delays due to a shutdown-related reduction in flights. The president has been encouraging Republicans in the Senate to end the shutdown by nuking the filibuster, which was the theme of an early morning Truth Social post that also addressed the election bloodbath in its own way. The Democrats are winning, and that they are destroying our great miracle economy, which is exactly what they set out to do. Terminate the filibuster, Trump wrote. The timestamp on Trump's post coincided with his trip to Trump International Golf Club. According to pool reports, Trump's golf outing comes hours after the Supreme Court granted a temporary stay of a lower court ruling that ordered the Trump administration to pay recipients of the Supplemental Nutritional Aid Program SNAP their full benefits. Let's get this straight. Donald Trump is complaining that Democrats are blowing up his miracle economy, which I really truly don't know what that could be. It's certainly a miracle that he's been able to do as much insider trading as he has. It's certainly a miracle that he's gotten inflation to go back up. It's certainly a miracle that Donald Trump, the guy who talked exclusively about lowering prices, has been so focused on raising them. But Donald Trump spent last night, him and his administration, begging the Supreme Court to help them starve people. So that's how he spent his night, and now he's spending his morning whining on Truth Social and golfing. Does this seem like a person who is committed to making your life better? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'd like to say, for the conservatives who are in my replies, in my comments, who I see on Twitter, I should really just get on Blue Sky. Who I see on Twitter saying, oh, it's terrible. You know, with SNAP, you can buy a box of cookies. You can buy Dijon mustard. I don't want my tax dollars wasted on that. Do you know that we waste about, $2 billion we're gonna have spent on Donald Trump's golf trips? $2 billion. As we're spending on Donald Trump's golf trips, and do you know where that money goes? Funny enough, largely to Donald Trump. Do you know why he loves to golf at his own resorts? Because it means he is spending money there. Your money. So what's worse, that a 6-year-old gets a cookie? Or that our cognitively declining president gets to spend all day long on the links on your dime? Because that's what's happening, and he's profiting off of it. That is all he does. Donald Trump thinks that affordability is not an issue because he's making billions of dollars, and he doesn't give a shit about you. That's the whole ballgame, and Jen Psaki perfectly broke that down. And why? It's gonna mean the end for Trump's presidency in this clip right here.
I'll tell you about 3 news items, and you try to guess which one of them is a lie. And if you already know all these stories, don't tell your spouse or your friend sitting on the couch with you or whoever you may be watching this show with right now. Let them make their own guesses. Okay, so here's the first one. Trump-branded wine is now being sold tax-free at government-run stores. Okay, that's one of them. And number 2, Trump's biggest political donor, the world's richest man, you may have heard of him, Elon Musk, is now on track to become the world's first trillionaire. And finally, number 3, this year's Walmart Thanksgiving meal is cheaper because of how much more affordable things have become under Trump's presidency. Okay, take your guess, share with your neighbor, talk to your friend on the couch. Now, if you guessed Trump wine, unfortunately, that is in fact real. Trump wine is now being sold at Coast Guard-run military stores tax-free. Nothing sketchy about that at all. If you guessed Elon Musk, unfortunately, that too is also real. Despite Tesla's plunging sales, market share, and profits, and the general toxicity of Musk's personal brand these days, Tesla's shareholders voted yesterday to give Musk $1 trillion worth of stock over the next decade. Which brings me to the lie.
Mr. President, since you brought up the Walmart Thanksgiving meal, and it is cheaper, but it also contains less, as affordability...
Well, I haven't heard that. You're telling me. Who are you with? Who are you with?
I'm with NBC News, sir.
Fake news. NBC. You're fake news.
That's right. The Walmart Thanksgiving meal that Trump has been touting as proof positive that he has made the country more affordable is cheaper this year because it has less stuff, like a lot less stuff. I mean, for days now, Trump has been pushing the fact that the pre-packaged Walmart Thanksgiving dinner is 25% cheaper than it was last year. But he has been conveniently ignoring the fact that this year's Walmart Thanksgiving package is missing a bunch of items it had last year, like onions, celery, sweet potatoes, chicken broth, seasoning, muffin mix, marshmallows, whipped topping, and pecan pie. I mean, those are all pretty key, delicious parts of Thanksgiving, right? The meal also downgraded certain items, like swapping Hawaiian rolls for cheaper dinner rolls. So yeah, surprise, surprise. His claim is completely misleading. But he was pushing this whole Thanksgiving meal narrative for a reason. I mean, since Democrats swept Tuesday's election, the right has all of a sudden woken up to America's affordability crisis. Fox News is even talking about how much prices have risen for consumers all across the country. Trump himself is even starting to talk about it.
It's no good if we do a great job and you don't talk about it. And I don't think they talk about it enough. You know, they have this new word called affordability, and they don't talk about it enough.
They have this new word called affordability.
They already know that they are going to lose these midterms. Donald Trump's focus is not on affordability. I know he said that, but I think it's funny that the Republican response to Tuesday was to say, Republicans need to message better on affordability. They need to message the people in charge. They don't need to change course. They need a message better. So believe you me, they're not going to change anything that they do, because they don't care. Certainly, they're going to change their message. They're going to blame Democrats more. They'll probably start attacking trans people again, even though that didn't work in Virginia. But it's just not a strategy that wants to address policy. That is certainly not what they are going to do. They are going, though, to try to do the thing that Trump has asked for, voter reform intimidation in big blue cities. Donald Trump wants to send ICE. He wants to send the National Guard. He's going to try to intimidate people. It didn't work in California this go-around, but he's going to try. Believe that he's going to try. And so we have to be ready. We have to be prepared. We got to call it out. We're certainly going to on this show. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.